Welcome to the channel, guys. My name is Jess. So with PPI data coming out late last night and sending Bitcoin above $61,000 and CPI coming out later this evening, the future price action of Bitcoin hinges between what could be an explosive move upwards or another rejection to the range low. So in today's video, we're going to dive into an in-depth analysis on all the recent price action, including what we need to see for the bulls to regain high time frame control and potential short time frame early warning signs for another rejection back down. Before we get into all that though, make sure you guys smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for regular Bitcoin analysis every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. If you're after even more content, be sure to check out my free Telegram for daily updates as well as crypto and economic news. And if you're interested in my VIP channel, you can get more details over here. VIP gives you exclusive access to my personal trades with exact entry points, targets, and stop losses. Alrighty guys, so diving right into the charts here, we're on a 1 hour time frame for Bitcoin, and you guys can see here right away that rally that we had late last night when PPI data came out. So PPI data came out pretty bullish. The month-on-month was 0.1% in comparison to the previously expected consensus of 0.2. And as you guys, I'm sure probably know, the market generally reacts to differentiations between the consensus and the actual, because we've already priced in that 0.2%. So having that lower PPI, that 1 point lower PPI result was obviously very bullish, and the market reacted so, and it is a leading indicator for inflation, right? So producer price index tells us, or generally tells us, the trend that inflation is going to be heading towards. So if it is lower than we expect, then inflation should be headed in that same trajectory, which is very good because that puts us in the right kind of positioning that we want to be in for those future rate cuts that we're expecting in September, right? It was that 50 basis point cut that everyone is looking forward to in September, and that will hopefully allow Bitcoin to rally and, start to reclaim that high time frame bullish trajectory. So coming out later tonight, also at 10:30 for those of us in Australia, we have CPI data coming out later as well. So that's definitely something to be looking out for. And hopefully that is also at least on par with consensus or bullish. So let's go ahead and dive into our shorter time frame analysis and our macro charts to talk about what we need to see in order for the bulls to take control as we approach this next little segment of economic news and volatile price action, and what would suggest to us that we're in danger of a much larger correction back down to the range low here. Before we dive into any more analysis, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor Bitunix, where you can get 15% off all of your trading fees and up to $5,500 in sign-up rewards. Bitunix is an emerging cryptocurrency exchange committed to providing you with a secure, convenient, and highly functional trading and investment platform. Available across all countries as a non-KYC exchange, get global access to over 150 trading pairs with minimal fees on both spot and futures contracts. Join today to get $5,500 in sign-up rewards and get 15% off all of your trading fees by signing up using the link in my bio or by using the code 1GG3 when you create your account. So starting off with our macro or higher time frame analysis, guys, what we need to see on these higher time frame charts, and specifically the daily chart, to confirm or give us much higher confidence that the bulls are taking control of the higher time frame price action, and we are going to see a move, or we can confidently predict a move to this range high resistance here between $69,000 and $70,000, is a reclamation of the midline of our massive descending channel, right? This one that we have been in for the last 4 to 5 months straight. I'm honestly losing track. I remember when it was like back here and I was like, oh yeah, this huge channel we've been in for 3 months. It's now been like nearly 5 months, which is absolutely insane. But this midline of the channel, that dotted blue line that you guys can see there, has acted as a really strong level of dynamic resistance throughout the entire period. So we can see over here, it was only really this period here where we broke above the midline and we didn't see a range high retest. There was probably something that happened there, but I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But generally, when we do close above that midline level of resistance, we see a range high retest. If we take a look over here, we had a rejection from the midline falling below, a rejection, and a rejection from our 50-day moving average, which again is a part of that like sort of dynamic resistance that either triggers or I guess gives us a warning of a breakdown to those lower levels, right? So over here, again, we can see a move above the midline level of resistance. We had a range high retest, Sustaining above the 50-day moving average, we had another range high retest. Falling below the 50-day moving average, we went to retest the midline of the channel. Upon rejecting there, we went all the way down to see a range low retest at $53,000. Moving back above, over here, 50-day moving average and the midline, again, range high retest. Falling below 50-day moving average, we move to retest the midline. Falling below that, again, another range low retest. You guys can see the pattern there. It is very, very clear. And so really moving into this next period, and more specifically this next week of price action, we do really want to be seeing that daily candle close above these levels here to confirm that move. Well, not confirm, but, you know, very highly skew the probability of seeing the move towards that upper range of resistance. So really quickly, when I say within the next week, the reason why I say that is because of the recent weekly candle close. Now, I spoke about that in my last video, so I don't want to go over it too much just for the people who watched that, so you guys can definitely go back and check out that segment of the video. But we had a spinning top weekly candle close, which can have the potential to become a bullish reversal signal in the instances that we end up getting a bullish next weekly candle close. The next candle has to be a green candle, and if we manage to do that, so we've got a green candle so far, there's nearly 5 days left though, so obviously still a long way to go. But if we do close that green candle and it is above 60, the midline of the channel, so just below $63,000, we are very likely, extremely likely to get a range high retest of those upper levels of resistance and confirm that the bulls are then taking control of the higher time frame price action. So you guys can see that over the last week of price action, starting off with the 8th of August here when we had that massive rally upwards due to US jobless claims data that came out very bullish, we have been consistently rejecting off that midline level of resistance. So on Thursday, after that massive rally, we saw a retest of that 50-day moving average. After rejecting from there, what we ended up doing was closing below that midline. And over that last week, Bitcoin has somewhat kind of started to consolidate in that downtrend as we continue to reject, forming lower lows from that midline level of resistance. So right now the question is whether or not these rejections are going to lead to a further breakdown of a current short time frame uptrend, or whether or not we are going to see enough strength to push back upwards. So obviously a lot of that has to do with the upcoming CPI data, right? If that ends up being bullish, naturally the market's going to react that way, and we are very likely then to see that push above. But still, the short time frame charts are really important because, you know, even if we do get that rally, how much of a rally is enough to really confirm that move upwards and that sustained move upwards? So let's go ahead and dive into these short time frame charts. So moving into our hourly chart, guys, we can see a couple structural developments that we've had in Bitcoin over the last couple of days. And starting off with our recent rally from the range low here at $49,000, what we've gone on to essentially do is form our short time frame uptrend. So starting off with that range low, the development of that uptrend has started with these two higher lows here that we've developed over the last couple of days. So immediately what this uptrend is going to tell us is our very first warning sign of the beginning of that bearish trajectory. So the loss of our short time frame uptrend, and specifically the close below that prior higher low trigger here at 57,500, is going to tell us that we have both lost structural support and horizontal support and are due for a bearish continuation. And that bearish continuation is going to take us to that next higher low here down at $54,000, which means, guys, that we have fully rejected from the midline there and gone to do a range low retest. That is that $54,000 region down here. So there is that bearish case scenario for you guys. It's very clearly mapped out because of this trend line, which is really nice and easy to see. And if you guys want to pull up that bearish trigger level here, you can pull up the liquidity swing indicator and just map that out over here. In terms of the bullish case scenario, what we have is another development of a more recent short time frame bull flag pattern or a descending channel pattern. So it's not perfect. It would be good if we had a third point of validation here for that lower trend line, but for the purposes of understanding the context of the short time frame price action and the triggers for, you know, the bullish case scenario, this is saying channel serves us very well. So a bull flag pattern, because it is entered into from the bottom side up, and generally bull flag patterns do have a high probability of a bullish break, but that is only if we do not see a breakdown of that channel first. So what that might look like in terms of a short time frame bearish correction here, because it does look like we might be rejecting there from the upper trendline resistance. But if we do see a rejection, what we might do is fall to retrace this horizontal level of support here at 57,500, retest this change of character level here, that bearish trigger, and upon bouncing there, if we break above our upper trend line here, so we have structural confirmation of a bullish trajectory and our prior lower high here, our bullish trigger, our horizontal bullish trigger at 61,800, we should then move to that higher time frame level of resistance here at $63,000. So this level of resistance coincides with this one here on the higher time frame charts. And so if we manage to get a successful resistance to support flip here, that confirms to us that we've moved not only above the midline, but we are very likely to then have a bullish continuation above that level of resistance, using it as a base of support, right? What that might look like is potentially a daily candle close there, a retest of support, and then that move upwards. Or in the most bullish case scenario is if we manage to just simply break out here. But regardless of whether or not we break out over here or after another range low retest of our short time frame structure, what we need to see is a clearance above our horizontal trigger level, bullish trigger level at 61,800. Alrighty guys, that is all the analysis that I have for you today. If you enjoyed the video or you learned something, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you're after even more content, be sure to check out my free Telegram for daily updates as well as crypto and economic news. And if you're interested in my VIP channel, you can get more details over here. VIP gives you exclusive access to my personal trades with exact entry points, targets, and stop losses. And if you are a trader, don't forget to sign up down below to Bitunix to get 15% off all of your trading fees and up to $5,500 US in sign-up rewards. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!